Hello, this is Wmpyr. I got a very intense comment. It was from a Japanese viewer, and I'm going to translate a little bit of it. And basically, his older brother was a detective, and he was killed in a knife incident. And his son is now a police officer and was in a what you call it, he was in a scuffle and he got headbutted in the nose, and yeah, so there's some violence going on in his family because of occupation and stuff, and they are fighting crime. So he was saying, basically, what kind of training can we do so that we don't fall behind against the opponent in real life? And the way that he put it was so that we don't fall behind. Like he's talking about, like, you know, because in the police, usually they are not allowed to attack first. So the bad guy's going to attack first, therefore you're already behind. I thought that was very interesting that he put it that way. And number one, of course, I have to say is awareness, right? Awareness. And this, a lot of people say this. I see a lot of YouTube channels and they all talk about awareness. So let me tell it to you guys. And I've been saying this on my YouTube channel many times. So if you see my other stuff, then this is nothing new. But let me put it in a different way from what the other YouTube channel instructors are saying, because they just say you need awareness, always be aware, look around, and this kind of stuff. Like, we've heard that dime a dozen, right? What I mean by awareness, right? And this is something that when I went to go visit my sister when she was living in New York, her and her husband, they still joke about this today, is we were walking together, the three of us, on the street, and then there was a big dude walking our way. Okay, so he was about to pass by us. So, we passed by. And the guy looked like he was some kind of fighter, or he just looked like someone you don't want to mess with. He was huge, and he looked like he worked out and everything. And as we passed by, my sister and my brother-in-law, they noticed that my body had changed. They're like, you grew bigger as we passed by. And what that was, right? I don't even really remember it, but what that was is that mentally and physically, I'm going into combat mode. Period. I'm getting ready because I don't know this guy. I don't know if he's going to attack them. I need to protect them. So my body, my mind also go into combat mode. So to them, they saw the change in me. They go, "Whoa, you actually, like a transformer or something. You grew bigger." And that is what I mean by awareness. You gotta become ready, because look at history, all the battles, throughout history and all that. If you are caught off guard, if you're unaware, if you're not ready, if you're not aware, these are the worst ways that all of a sudden you gotta take arms and defend your village or whatever. When you're caught off guard, this is really, really bad. So you have to go into combat mode and be ready to. I don't want to slug it out with anyone, but I'm ready. So that's super important. Super, super important. Okay. And the other thing is, oftentimes I see, and I did this myself, I had to untrain myself, but I would notice something like, there's something not right over there. Okay. But I'm not going to turn around and walk back this way because it would look bad, or because I need to go that way anyway. Nothing's going to happen. Let me just walk this way anyway. So I'm my own worst enemy at that point, even though I had the awareness. So awareness alone is nothing. Awareness plus the right action. You have to make the action according to the awareness. Going, oh, there's something not right over there. Well, you know what? I'm going to walk into this coffee shop and wait. You got to make decisions like that. Decisions that go along with your awareness. Because if not, what's the point of having awareness? Okay. So that's number one. Number two, right? I have to say is, today my student came into class and we were training today in the morning, And he kind of asked me similar questions. What if a guy has a knife and he just attacks, comes at you real fast and trying to stab you and attack you? And yeah, I mean, that is intense, right? And something that I've been telling him over and over, and I've been telling you guys too, is distance is so, so important. Yes, I have techniques for close range. I do. Medium range, close range, ground range, I have techniques for all of that. But it's not, oh, okay, he's close, so I'm going to use close range. If you do that, you're going to be just like in the early UFC. Because the early UFC guys, they did the exact same thing. All the stand-up strikers, they go, well, if this grappler tries to grab me and take me to the ground, he's going to have to get through my punches and my kicks, and if he does, then I'll switch to elbows and knees. No problem. I'll use uppercuts. And it's like, dude, that did not work. Watch the early UFCs. The wrestlers, the grapplers dominated. Right? So that doesn't work. It's not about switching tools. All right? It's not just about that. Therefore, look, distance is so, so important. You got to keep the distance. So the guys today that don't get the evolution in the UFC, they keep the distance. They keep the distance, and they know how to do it. And it's not just about that either, because if you look at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for example, you have positions, right? Well, before BJJ came out, Judo guys, they had positions. And in fact, it's called Osai Komi. You pin the guy, you win the match. You hold them for 60 seconds. And same with wrestling. Wrestlers pin people, right? Those are positions, okay? The difference was in BJJ, not only did they have positions, just the same as judo and wrestling, but the main difference here was they had a positional hierarchy. If you don't know the hierarchy, you don't know the characteristics of those positions, you have positions, but you don't understand how they fit in this combat map, in this plan, then there's no way you could successfully fight in Vale Tudo or in NHB back in the day or even today. It's the hierarchy of the position. So I say to you guys, distance. But it's not just about distance. You need to know the hierarchy of the distance. Long range, the best. Just like back mount is the best in BJJ, long range is the best with distance. And that's what you want. You want that distance. And now you have to understand the positions, just like in BJJ, you got to know each position. You need to know, like, medium range. Yeah, it's better than close range because you have more distance, but it's also where the opponent's attacks are most powerful. Therefore, you don't want to be there. So you need to know stuff like that. So distance, understanding distance. Not just, oh, the more distance, the better, and that's it. It's not that simple. It's more than that. But understanding distance, I'm saying it like in a way of understanding positions. There is not an MMA fighter today that doesn't understand positions. That was the biggest contribution from BJJ, coming in. I mean, you don't even have to really be like necessarily an expert with submissions, but you do need to know positions, big time. Okay, so that is the same idea right there. And then the other thing is experience is so huge. I just binge watched the Squid Game. Imagine if you, yes, the game is still lethal and it's deadly and it's extremely difficult, but imagine you already know what the games are. You've done it. You've already done it. So you have experience with the games and you know what it is. Imagine that person going in. He has a huge, huge advantage, right? So experience is big, just like it is in the battlefield. So our job as in martial arts, notice the word arts, is to create as much of those experiences as possible in your backyard, in the dojo, in the classroom. So we simulate. We don't do the real thing. I can't do the real thing. I can't say, here's a real knife, just attack me when I'm not looking. Can't do that. Okay, I'm going to die. I'm going to be in the hospital. But with a training knife, I can do that. Okay, And even then, we can control it more so we don't get hurt. We'll just keep it standing, or we'll just keep it in this corner here, or whatever, or only give me a straight attack or whatever. But those kinds of simulations teach you valuable experiences for real life. And those are the things that we're looking for, real life experiences in training to use for real life. And we need that. And that is huge. So if you train that way, those three things, I think, will really, really help anyone out if you're really interested in application of this stuff. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.